Guys, how you doing? And welcome to Just Your Average Joe and another edition of Talk Soup. This is our second episode, or I should say my second episode, since I'm going solo today, of Talk Soup. It's going to be a Marvel, DC, any kind of comic film, any kind of comic book movie or adaptation, whether it's a series or not. Everything mixed into that onto this segment right here, which again is called Talk Soup. And today I'm going to be talking briefly live to you guys at home about the new Marvel and Disney Plus series, WandaVision. And stay tuned for that. All right, guys. So basically, what I wanted to talk about briefly was WandaVision. Now, we were told way back in April of 2019 at the Disney investors meeting, we were basically said that we were going to get series on Disney Plus when Disney Plus rolled out, which was at the end of 2019 when we got The Mandalorian, the first season. And then we knew other series were going to follow: WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and so on and so forth. Now, The Mandalorian debuted last year. It was to me a hit, and I'm sure to many. But the thing is, after that, we thought in 2020 we were going to get these other new shows. That didn't happen. Now, I know a lot of it had to do with COVID, and a lot of things were delayed and pushed back. So we waited for this series for almost 2 years. Now, again, we weren't told it was coming out in 2019. We knew it was coming out in 2020. But that obviously never happened because we just got it now in 2021. But we still knew about it. We were still anticipating it. Now, when the new series were mentioned, I won't lie, WandaVision really didn't strike my interest. It wasn't until we started getting images and we started getting like mini trailers and then, of course, TV spots that was like, okay, I can probably get on board with this, but I still don't know much about it, as do really most of us don't. Even after watching it, there's still things that we need to find out. There's still mysteries wrapped in mysteries. So, and of course, that'll probably be told within the next 7 episodes. I believe there's 9. What's up? What's up, Jedi? How you doing? Again, thank you for tuning in. And, please, by all means, drop comments, ask questions, tell me about things that I might miss or I might know. But so to get into it, obviously we got The Mandalorian. We waited a full year without nothing. And then we got The Mandalorian season 2. And then finally now Disney Plus is going to be able to roll out successively, not successively, in succession, these other series. So right after WandaVision stops, we're going to go right into the Falcon and Winter Soldier, around that time. And then after that, Loki, and then so be it. But, yeah, exactly. And now The Mandalorian was the one that I was interested for the most when everything was announced. I was like, okay, hell yeah, I can definitely get on board with that. But even the other series like Loki, but again, it wasn't until after seeing the trailers for the respective shows that's what gauged my interest. Even the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I really wasn't sold on. And Loki, I was like, all right, how are you going to do a series just about Loki? But I was definitely on board with Loki because I think Loki is definitely a beloved character, especially with the way his arc has gone, from the first Thor up until, and then, of course, the Avengers and then the villains and stuff like that. So I definitely got on board with Loki, but it really wasn't until I saw the trailer for that I say, oh, wow, this series looks weird. Hold on. 2021 is going to be great for Marvel if everything goes as planned. Yeah, I agree. I really do agree. It does suck that most of the films and everything were pushed back, and I know that really forced the hands of Disney to scale back on the series because supposedly some of these series are tied together. So there was not really much they can do. Black Widow was supposed to come out last May. The Eternals, which I'm actually looking forward to. And of course, we're getting Doctor Strange, and there's all these things are going to be intertwined. So there was only so much they can do. And they're like, all right, well, we can't really put these shows on because there's really because of everything, because of the constraints, and because of everything that had to be delayed or whatever. But anyway, before I ramble on and on and on about that, let's get to WandaVision itself. Now, we obviously only got the first 2 episodes, and I will say this: was it the greatest thing on Disney Plus? No, of course not. If you compare it just solely, now remember, the only 2 shows that I can really compare it to because of the genre and because of what I'm interested in. I know Disney Plus has many series that they have released since their debut, but only The Mandalorian and WandaVision could really be compared. Now, if you compare the first episode of The Mandalorian to the first episode of WandaVision, there's just no comparison. But the thing is, now, when you talk about the setting for WandaVision, I've said this on Instagram. I've said this to other people that I've know. Starspeed's one of them, and I had said, now I'm old enough to remember the sitcoms like the Dick Van Dyke Show, Bewitched, I Love Lucy, so many other Leave It to Beaver, like all those other like these older 50s and 1960s sitcom. Now, granted, I wasn't alive when they were on television for the first time. I watched these all in syndication, but growing up, especially because my mom liked these shows or my grandparents, whoever was watching them, that is the reason why I watched them. So I enjoyed the setting, but if you take it from a comedic context and you just isolate it from the MCU, the show makes no sense. So if you haven't watched the full MCU, I feel if you haven't watched the MCU on a grander scale, and if you're out of the loop of what exactly has transpired with the characters of Wanda and Vision, if you haven't seen Endgame or Infinity War, and you don't know what's actually going on outside of WandaVision, it's hard to really immerse yourself because is the show okay as a standalone? I think so. I thought it was entertaining enough. I was laughing. I thought some of the jokes definitely, well, not some. I think most of the jokes definitely hit. I like the weirdness. I like where Marvel is going. It's a very different way of telling a story and doing a TV show based on comic book characters. But when you know that off screen, that there's a greater reasoning behind everything that's going on. Like there's heavily implanted Easter eggs. There's these subtle hints of something askew and something that's not right. That's what really intrigued me, and obviously I'm going to watch further and further on. I want to know what's going on. I think most people want to know what's going on. The first 2 episodes really served as a setup, it was the building of characters. We got to see, the neighbor Agnes, which is played by Catherine Hahn, who I love. I think she's hysterical. I think she's really attractive. But besides that, these other characters, you got Tiana Paris, who's playing at the moment Geraldine, but she's really Monica Rambeau. And then these other there's the way I see it, and I really try to. I watched breakdowns after I watched the show. I tried to get all the Easter eggs that I missed. But the way I see it is that there's so many things, there's so many layers to the show that you really don't get at a first viewing. You have to watch. You have to really, there's like these subtle hints. I saw on a YouTuber's stream that, the building from the Age of Ultron, where the twins were birthed by Baron Strucker, that building is actually, it looks like it's a building on a mural on their on Wanda and Vision's home, in episode 1. And then of course we see the name Strucker on that commercial for the watch, as do we the Stark Industries for the toaster. There's all these subtle hints. That's just, I really did like the show a lot. And to base the show by itself is hard because, the jokes were nonsensical at times. The scenes were very awkward. That dinner scene where, the husband, Mr. Hart, is choking and the wife is just like, stop it. And like she's talking to Wanda as if Wanda's doing it. But it's just, and then of course, after Vision saves his life, they just like, all right, well, we're going to go home now. Thank you for dinner. Like, it's if you really just take this show by itself, it doesn't really make any sense. But I'm sure the next episodes to come that follow will make more sense of it. I loved I loved how we're getting glimpses of things in color. I believe the first thing we got in color was the red light blinking on the toaster mate for the for that commercial break that we got in episode 1. And then of course we got that helicopter, which was, I mean, to me, was Iron Man's colors, and had the sword. That showed up. That sword symbol showed up a couple of times on the helicopter, on the beekeeper's back. I believe on the sewer cap. It was said that it was on the sewer cap top, and of course at the end of episode 1, when the after the credits of the show rolls. For the fake show, the WandaVision show, as it pans out and you see that guy in like some type of trailer watching it, you see on the screen that sword symbol as well. So there's definitely things, and then of course we hear, and we've heard this in the trailer, Wanda, can you hear me? Who's doing this to you? Who's doing this to you? So there's just so many things that I know we're about to get answered, but I really, really do. I really do anticipate the next few episodes, but I really am far behind. Hold on one second, guys. I don't want to miss any of your comments. I'm still pretty wary about Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I really hype for Loki. Yeah, no. I think once we get a couple of more trailers or a couple of TV spots for Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think we're going to get a little bit more interested. But I thought the first trailer that we got to see was pretty good. It was definitely action-packed, but I'm probably a little more hyped for Loki as well. Hopefully, because of how long they've had these films sitting here, hopefully they have managed to completely perfect these films. I think so. But then I'm not going to get into that, but I think so too. I think you're right. Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm really busy. I might have to check out. Don't worry, dude. This is only going to be brief. I only wanted to say a few things. Kitty, who's supposed to be here, just had a couple of things to do. Thank you for dropping by and say hi. I will definitely see you next episode. I just wanted to get this one out, but I thank you. She loved the show, and I was going to say that today. It lends itself to the acting as well as where most Marvel has not been able to do that, especially those characters. And I agree. And I do want to say that as well. I'm glad that the relationship that I'm glad that the relationship we got from Wanda and Vision translate, from the movies translated onto this. That was one of the relationships and the character dynamics that I did enjoy in the MCU. I really did like their scenes together. I love their scenes together in Infinity War. That final scene, spoiler alert, when she's the one that has to destroy the stone in his head. It was actually pretty powerful. And, even her scene in Endgame when she was trying to avenge him against Thanos, and she pretty much would have killed Thanos had he not cheated. But yeah, I agree, and I really do like these characters together, and that's another reason why I had a feeling that I would be intrigued by this show. I think it just fits, and as you said, they're acting the way they portrayed these characters in this series. In this 1950s, 60s, suburban setting, that iconic TV land setting, I did enjoy as well. I think the beekeeper could possibly be Phil Coulson. I thought so too, but I probably shouldn't have done this. But if you go to the credits, I'm sorry, the IMDb acting credits, it's a different character. I thought that was Coulson. I actually thought Coulson was the one that was trying to speak to her through the radio, like, Wanda, who's doing this to you? But apparently somebody else pointed this out, and I still don't know because I really can't tell. But that's hold on, I think I want to say it right. I think Randall Park, who plays Jimmy Woo. He was in Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man, or at least Ant-Man and the Wasp. I know that. But Randall Park, the Asian character for the MCU, who played, as I said, in Ant-Man and Wasp, who plays Jimmy Woo. People were saying that was his voice, and again, I don't know, but apparently I think that was confirmed. I love how Wanda's character is evolving in each episode as well. Look how she dresses. Yes. So, and that's the other thing too. It's going to progress. Obviously now at the end of episode 2, we're in Technicolor. She's pregnant. Things are progressing a lot. And a lot of people were pointing out like the clicking of the beeping of the toaster, how it was speeding up. The ticking of the watch, the Strucker watch, that was the Hydra thing, was also speeding up. I think it's speeding up and her time is speeding up. And I heard from people that have gotten to see future episodes without any spoilers, because it's not, but we're going to get different eras in each episode. It's going to progress. In the beginning credits as well, of all the Easter eggs. Yes. Do you think each episode will end with another step in the relationship for the first 2 episodes? Yes. Yeah, I do. And then we're going to get the twins' birth, as you said. And not only the progression of their characters, but as I said just previously before that, the progression of everybody around them. I mean, you got a different house setting. You went from the Dick Van Dyke Show setting to like a Bewitched or like a kind of I Dream of Jeannie setting. I think it's more Bewitched. But now I think the first episode, 100%, that setting, that house setting, particularly, especially the living room and kitchen, the only 2 rooms we saw, but was all Dick Van Dyke. But I think we might get like what's the word? I wanted to say a combination. I was trying to use a bigger word and I can't think. Amalgamation. Why can't I think of the word that I want to say? Anyway, a combination of different shows. I don't think we're just going to get one show. As per se, as far as the setting of the house goes. But I think everything is going to change within each episode. I don't think you're typing badly at all. All right, going to check out. Sorry, don't worry about that, guys. Nice slow burn. Love it. So yes. Again. So just to be brief. I enjoyed these first 2 episodes. I cannot wait for the 3rd episode. And from what I've been told, for somebody that was able to watch the 3 episodes, they didn't watch beyond that, but they were able to see 3. And they said by the middle or end of the 3rd episode, it's going to be like, okay. Now, that's not to say we didn't get enough. We got just enough to want more. There's so many questions. I mean, like, is she doing this? That's the question. Is Wanda doing this? Is somebody doing this to her? A lot of people seem to be pointing out that Agnes is a play on words with Agatha Harkness, and she's the one that is responsible possibly for the spells. She has a lot of phrases that she says, a lot of sentences that she says that could be taken as double meanings. And, her wit and her lines could be taken in different ways, depending on the context. But a lot of people are saying that she's just popping up because she's either keeping tabs on the 2 or she's also keeping them in that type of spell that she's in. But again, I'm really looking forward to the next few episodes. I did enjoy episode 1 and 2. I really think you do need to know more of the outside context of the characters of Wanda and Vision as opposed to the MCU. I'm not talking about the comics. I'm talking about the MCU itself. What they went through together. Obviously, what ended up happening to Vision at the end of Infinity War, what she went through as a character with that huge loss, and obviously the loss of her brother in Avengers Age of Ultron. So there's just so many things that are happening to that character of Wanda, Wanda that, have made her built up with this aggression. So I don't know if it's just somebody trying to contain all that, but there's a lot of questions that I know we're going to need to be answered, which I'm assuming we're going to get in the next few episodes. I'm looking forward to it, but I want to know what you guys think. Did you guys like the episodes? Are you intrigued by it so far? Is it a miss for you? Are you going to watch, the next few episodes to, I think, get a better sense of what's going on? I really think if you judge these 2 episodes by themselves, again, these are setup episodes, and it's something that we've never seen before from the MCU, from any real comic book show. I've never seen anything. I've never seen them really tackle a series like this, and to set it in a TV land setting with that just ridiculousness and, that Pleasantville kind of like, but there's something wrong with it. And if you keep going in with that mentality, like, okay, I know they're spewing jokes. I know there's all this lightheartedness and, oh, they're married now and now she's pregnant, but there's evil behind this. And if you stick with that mentality, I think it makes the show that even more intriguing and that better. Okay, just a couple of more questions and that's it. That's it. Amalgamate. You have it on the screen. I still can't say it. Amalgamation. I still don't even know if that's the word I wanted to use. I might have tried to make up my own word. Okay, and the toaster metaphor was dark. Yes, it was. Also, somebody pointed out that the very first, there's a subtle noise when he heats up when they put the toaster down. When they put it down, they set it. It actually makes the same noise that Tony Stark's repulsor makes on the Iron Man costume. Okay, but this is where I'm going to end the stream, guys. Again, drop a comment. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you hated it, and everything you thought about it. And also stay tuned for future episodes of Talk Soup, where we go into the future episodes of WandaVision and anything else that comes out, comic book movie, whether DC or Marvel related. And next week we should have my co-host, Kitty, as well. I'm sorry you had to just deal with my face, but again, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Drop a comment, hit that like button, and obviously subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate that. It definitely helps out the channel. And I also cannot wait for next week. And I cannot wait to see you guys next week as well. You guys stay safe and enjoy the rest of your weekend.